Voters in Georgia are turning their backs on President Biden as we get closer to the midterm elections. A new poll shows Biden's job approval rating in the key swing state has plunged to 34%, a sharp decline from May when it was 51%. That's a whopping 62% now disapproving. Karl Rove is a former White House Deputy Chief of Staff and a Fox News contributor. When you see a number like that, Karl, what do you think?
If I'm a Democrat, I say, oh, something or other. And if I'm a Republican, I say, wow. That portends a real problem for Senator Warnock, the Democrat who's up this fall, and a good chance for Republicans to take the Senate seat there and thereby changing the composition of the Senate.
There was another one from the AJC, the Journal-Constitution out of Atlanta. Right track, wrong track direction. 71% say wrong track. How much weight do you give that now?
I give it a lot because that's emblematic of what's happening nationwide. If you look at the Real Clear Politics average, it's in the high 60s, thinking the country's off on the wrong direction, and just over a quarter of the population saying that they think the country's going on the right track. That if you're the incumbent party, you want that number to be a heck of a lot better than it is today, because people are going to hold the Democrats who are in charge of Washington, the presidency, the House, and the Senate. They're going to hold them accountable for the direction of the country.
Yeah, I just want to say the biggest rock was among independents as well. And we always watch that figure, too.
Who are going to be the swing voters who decide the fall election. So a big problem for the Democrats.
Yeah. Do you think this transfers to other swing states as well, like Pennsylvania?
Oh, sure. In fact, look, when you have that kind of a number nationwide, you're going to see it replicated in virtually every state. And absolutely, I've seen data from North Carolina and Pennsylvania and Arizona and Nevada, all of which would indicate that they're, all of which have high-profile statewide races, governor and senator.
Yep.
Except North Carolina has a Senate race, no governor race, but they're indicative of the same kind of thing. Democrats are in trouble, and there's not much that's going to change that between now and November.
We were looking at your piece this morning, Wall Street Journal, from Karl Rove. If only Bernie Sanders were more blunt. And the subheader is, the state of the GOP and Democrats was encapsulated by two senators' speeches. What did you hear?
Well, Bernie Sanders went on Meet the Press and attacked the president of the United States of his party and the Democratic leader of the Senate, saying their strategy of trying to get Sinema and Senator Manchin to flip on the Build Back Better and on voting rights legislation, killing the filibuster, was an utter failure, and that they had to have a change of course. And that change of course is split the Build Back Better bill up, bring it up one big measure at a time, and make the Republicans vote against it and have the Democrats vote for it. The problem is that is going to draw attention to the big problems inside the Build Back Better bill. Namely, we got 10 years of revenue to support 1 year of the child tax credit, or 3 or 4 years of the affordable care subsidies, or 5 or 6 years of pre-K. In other words, we're using gimmicks to hide the true cost of the bill. So bring that bill up and let the Republicans vote against it and Democrats vote for it, and it's going to hurt them at the polls in the fall, because our concern is about inflation that's being driven by too much government spending, particularly red ink spending.
All right, then, Karl, just quickly before we lose you, there's a Supreme Court nomination that President Biden is going to be able to do now. What do you say to folks who think that this is a big turnaround point for President Biden and a really big boost for the Democrats?
Look, I get it. He gets to fulfill a pledge to appoint a black woman. They get to change the subject and stop talking about things that are hurting them. It's a big, important thing. The Supreme Court, partisans on both sides, the Democrats will be unified. But I would just remind them, these same things were in stage in 2006 when the Republicans, when a Republican president could nominate Sam Alito, and it didn't stop us from losing the midterm elections. This is not going to have a huge impact on the fall elections. It's not going to be a big advantage to the Democrats. It's a temporary, retreat from the brutal battles that they've suffered the last year and lost. But it's not going to save them in the fall elections. People are concerned about jobs and inflation, the economy, lots of other things. The Supreme Court nomination is going to be far in the rearview mirror by the time we get to vote.
You just gave me like one of those flashbacks of how busy it was from August of 2005 till February of 2006 and beyond. That was quite a time. Thanks, Carl.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.